Hello everyone, and welcome to the Secret Second channel. Apologies for my voice, I'm currently a bit sick, but I still felt it was necessary to make this video, because today we're going to be talking about my most recent upload that you probably came from to see this video, which is the video where I talk about kind of how I got started with ULTRAKILL, a lot of what went into that, some inspirations, and why I started speedrunning, mainly because whilst that video is obviously quite accurate, because it's my story, so obviously I could tell it quite well, I still made some white lies in it, let's say, just for the sake of having better coherence as a narrative in that video, and also so that it didn't drag on particularly long. And this video will basically serve to sort of talk about some of the actual truth behind this, some of the more, complicated sort of general things I'm not even totally sure about myself, because my memory on some of this stuff is a bit iffy, to be honest. And yeah, that'll be about it, so let us begin.
The year was 2022.
And we're barely, we're barely starting, and this is already something I have to fact check. Technically speaking, I picked this date because that's the date when the video H2 uploaded released. It was in 2022. However, I'm semi-uncertain that I might have watched this sometime in 2023. So, yeah, this isn't very accurate. I picked this date because it was the better start to have it was the better beginning. It was the better intro. Let's put it that way. I don't really know fully exactly if it was this year, if it was that year, or if it was 2023. But yeah.
The world was in an interesting place. Russia invaded Ukraine, the pandemic was still rampant, although slowly starting to fade, and little old me was really into a series of...
Okay, so this isn't really related to anything, but fun fact, everything here is accurate, but fun fact, this video I specifically picked for this section because it is the first video I believe I saw on the H2's channel.
Big visual of 5-2 stuck with me. Oh yeah, and the fact that people were really freaky and...
Alright. Okay, so this is actually a point that H2 talks about. A shit ton of the negative reviews you saw in that fucking thing. I assume it's a he. A shit ton of the reviews they found were just this type of shit, just people talking about how they want to fuck the robots. It's fucking ridiculous.
This community. More than 2.5 years passed before this game ever
And again, because of that intro correction I already gave you, this isn't, maybe not accurate. I don't fully know. It might have been a little sooner. But in general, I remained away from ULTRAKILL for another 1.5 years at least, I'm pretty certain, before I finally came back to it.
Would soon become a massive hobby of mine, and after posting whatever came to mind for a while, I would eventually switch to making gaming variety content by the end of December, and for the next couple months I would do just that, which brings us to June 2025. At the time I had just recently...
Right, another correction here. I also don't know this, and I think the reality of this might have been that it was somewhere closer to May. However, it's a bit complicated, because I remember I had exams in May, and then soon after I got the ULTRAKILL demo, and I sort of remembered the game. I think I bought it in June, though. I do think I bought ULTRAKILL in June, but I might have had the demo before that. So this is a bit of a simplification. I moved everything to June. Reality is, it was a bit sooner on the dates. I probably had it since May.
Finished work on a 28-minute long video about modded VR Half-Life 2, and I was trying to come up with what to make next. At that point, it was between either a scrap mechanic or getting over a video. That was until I had a conversation.
Fun fact about that scrap mechanic one, because scrap mechanic hasn't gotten updated in fucking 4 years at this point, I was gonna use a bunch of mods for it. That never happened because I lost the will to play scrap mechanic anymore, basically. I just don't want to play that game at this point. I don't know. I'm hoping they'll update it soon. That's a really good fucking game. They need to update that. This is a side tangent. Update fucking scrap mechanic, bro. Swear to God.
With a friend, during which he showed off his Steam library to me. Oh, you got ULTRAKILL. I think I've heard of that one before. What's it about?
Oh, I haven't played it really.
I see. Hey, maybe that could be my next video.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Why not?
Another friend of mine got it, and the moment he started playing it, he got addicted. It's such a shame they got him.
What? No, we're not referencing that.
I'm getting railed by my friends.
And so...
Okay, so first of all, obviously this is not exactly how that conversation went. Who would have guessed? I don't talk like this with my friends. But actually, you know what? Like, okay, the gist of the conversation is pretty much there. Obviously, the ending's a joke. Generally speaking, he showed off his thing to me. I didn't steal his phone like I do here, but he showed off his library to me. And actually, I don't think I saw ULTRAKILL while doing that. I think I remembered ULTRAKILL a little bit before this, and then asked him about it, and then we checked that partially because I was thinking about it, and that's like when I saw it, and he was like, oh yeah, I have like a few hours, and then I believe we went on Discord, and then I saw him briefly play, and then I got the demo, and yeah, that's how it basically started. Actually, you can kind of tell with that like weird lead up of events that I just didn't want to put all of this in like actuality. I needed to simplify it a little bit.
Didn't really want to do anyway. What emerged from that effort was this video about my first time trying to
oh fucking hell, okay, this video.
It's honestly a pretty unedited video though, mainly due to A, lacking the time to make any complicated edits because I had to go on a trip,
yeah.
And B, because I was testing how well a gameplay focused video could do. In the end, it ended up performing fine for
yeah, this is kind of accurate. I guess I could explain this a bit more. I was gonna go on a trip in like July of that. No, sorry. At the end of July, I was gonna go on a trip. And because I was gonna go on that trip, I basically had to... I didn't have a lot of time to make a video, so I just decided that instead of doing something complicated, I would make a pretty basic gameplay video. And, you know, I wasn't particularly expecting it to do well, but I wanted to see, like, at this point I was, like, trying to look into ULTRAKILL. Like, you know, I really liked ULTRAKILL as a game, so I was like, oh, maybe I could make content on it, but see, like, you know, I was checking to see, is there an audience that, you know, would watch something like this? And funny thing is, it did actually perform better than my previous upload at the time, which was that Getting Over It video. It was like 100 view difference. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal at the end of the day. They performed basically the same, all considered. That margin isn't that big. But it was a test, and it did fine, and I still liked making it. It was a decent time. So yeah,
what I was expecting, but not all that well. After I got back from the trip, I decided that my next video ought to be another ULTRAKILL one. This time it would be a randomizer challenge, where I would have to beat every level in the game with a random weapon whilst trying not to die once. This...
Oh yeah, I just remembered one thing to add. I talk about this a bit later. I'm pretty certain, I didn't even realize this while I was writing this actually, I mischecked. I thought I started running in late August. I started running apparently in late July. So like, again, for simplification and also because I forgot, that isn't mentioned here, but technically speaking, before I finished that last video and posted it, I was already technically speedrunning, but barely. I was starting out. As for this challenge, I have no fucking idea what was going through my head. Like, I have no idea how I thought this would be a good idea. Because having one singular weapon and trying to beat, like, an entire level with it, and the entirety of ULTRAKILL with random-ass weapons, and never dying is the dumbest shit ever. Like, I don't know what the fuck was on... I don't know who I thought I was. Something was wrong with me, man.
It was a fucking terrible idea. You see, on my first attempt, I made it all the way to 2-4 until the Corpse King killed me, but I could never reach that on any attempt after. No matter what, the first
Here's my motive for bullying V2.
Fucking, I need to learn how to pronounce it.
In case you're wondering, I didn't do this pause for, like, comedy. I actually wasn't sure how to pronounce Claire Devlin.
Inspiration for the series was not any other ULTRAKILL one, but actually it was that one animator's daily series.
Okay, I might have to explain this, this specifically, because this is going to be a bit weird. There's very simply, this inspiration is very surface level. This happened to be, like, the last thing I remembered that was, like, a daily thing that was happening. So, simply speaking, I decided to just put that there. I know if you know anything about the series, this is going to be, like, a really weird, wait, this is what this was based off of? This was just happened to be, like, oh, this thing is, like, posted daily. This has, like, a day, you know, it's posted daily. So I'm gonna do something similar, and I also had seen like other daily things, but this was specifically like the last thing I remembered, so it was my main inspiration.
On TikTok. Throughout being the end date just happened to be what I settled on because it was the upcoming update. The series got off to a slow start, but soon enough.
Obviously 5.k is still pretty good, but for shorts that's that's good, but it's not like anything insane. Also, shorts count views weird, so this is actually closer to like 2K, which was still really good, by the way, because 2K was before ULTRAKILL was like the highest value on shorts I had ever got. So it was still awesome to see this, but it wasn't like particularly, this isn't like brain mushing much. This is just pretty decent shorts performance for a channel. Nothing particularly special, right? And then comes in this shit. Like, I don't know when the fuck this happened. Just insane. 8K. I don't even know how to fucking talk about this. I don't know how the series did so well. I really don't know. I was not expecting it to do as well as it did. And like, for fuck's sakes, I think that the most popular short of that bunch has 1.1 million views, which is fucking crazy. I was not expecting to like hit that anywhere close to at this point. Like, that's just fucking insane, right? To be clear, it was fucking awesome. Like, oh my god, this is fucking great. And again, like, going back to it, this was something I was enjoying, and it was getting results. It was fucking awesome. It was a great time.
100, 500, and eventually 1,000.
It was so insane. I was, fun fact, I was on a trip when I hit 1K. So I was just like, I was off somewhere. Fuck, I don't even remember where. I was in a bus. I was talking to some friends when I hit it. I have like a picture of it. That's pretty cool. Ah, man, this was really fun though. I was so happy. Like, this is because I've always kind of liked the idea of posting YouTube videos, like being a YouTuber kind of. So like, this was so fucking cool to see. I was so happy when I was getting this.
Came to release more like every 3 days. Things were looking up until they weren't. You see, by the time I was
okay. Oh, right. Here's another thing. The script you're seeing right now is the final script version. Actually, I don't have the old one. There's like, it has like, I deleted the old one. There's only like a old backup I made that has like the first sentence and it's like a different intro. I don't have the old script because I deleted it. This is the newer one. Any differences you're seeing between what is in this and the uploaded video is just like, it's polished that I made on the spot while recording. So this is literally what I was looking at. This is the text I was reading. If it's not in order, it's because I was doing this in parts that were different from each other. I had basically an idea of everything written because I had that other script that was deleted. These were basically the polished up versions, and yeah.
Came under the influence.
Wait, did I not?
Really long, and whilst I started to work on it, scripting the long-form video, I realized it was really long, and whilst I started to work on it, looking at such a huge workload was really demotivating. I also had to deal with school, obviously, and a bunch of the stuff that came with having to study a lot more. Plus, I had to spend time making the V2 bull.
Ah, shit. I think I might have accidentally not mentioned something. Whoops. Well, generally speaking, it looked, not only did it look really long, it looked like this thing was gonna be 40 minutes in length. Like, I was checking, and this thing was turning out to be like 40 minutes of talking, which is insane. I was not ready to edit something that long.
Playing series, and because of all that, I eventually came under the influence of humanity's worst enemy.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
And I just stopped working on the video for a while. Through much of November, I just couldn't find the motivation to do it.
This is a bit weird because I was technically kind of doing this, but I was doing very small bits of work, and then I was like, okay, I'll do something next week, and then I wouldn't do it. This is why you can see me like posting shit that was like semi-progress reports, but also talking about the fact that I was like, I did not have like the motivation for it to do it throughout like November, because technically speaking, I was getting some stuff done, but I was getting it done super slowly. I was not getting done fast at all.
Bullying for a bit to create a plotline where V2 actually didn't immediately die, and created some.
This was kind of fun, but like, this was fun to make, but it also, these took up way more time than regular V2 bullying shorts did. So I really just started to. I honestly, by the end of it, I was just disliking them more. Because, fun fact, when this series was finishing up, this plot line, I was already, like, starting to make the video, the long-form video. And so, this was just, like, I had to look at this and I was like, okay, I need to get this done. Because I need to get back to work on the long-form video. I had delayed that for so long that, like, this just began to get a bit annoying. I think if I had, like, free time, if I was, you know, posting more, if I hadn't procrastinated, this would have been cool. I would have had, like, decent free time, and I would have liked doing work on it. But since I had procrastinated all this long, having, like, 2 things that require a decent time editing just was... It was not fun for me.
I locked in.
Yeah.
The start was the hard part.
Yeah, again, I'll say this. When I started work back on it again, starting it was slow. Like, it took me a few weeks to fully get it its way, but when Christmas break ended, and I had to go back to school, I did lock in. Like, I was really focused on learning shit as fast as possible, like, doing everything I had to, so that I would have free time later to just work on this. I was very focused on doing that, because I did not want to wait any longer to post.
I looked at what I had gotten done prior, and I just thought it wasn't good enough, so I had to scrap.
Yeah, this is talking about that. Basically, okay, this is a bit more complicated than purely scrapping it. I used this script as a basis, but, like, I basically rewrote a ton of shit that was in it. So, like, just for polishing sakes, most of that is not really there anymore. The soul of it kind of is, but the text is different. It's all pretty much completely different because, like, the beginning is completely changed. There's, like, as I'll say in a few seconds, there are 2 lines from it that remain, and, like, it's just not the same script. At a certain point, it's just very different.
Basically all of it and rewrite the whole script. In the final video, there are only 2 lines left from my original November recording session. One at the beginning, and my crash out at the very end.
So fun fact, the 2 scenes you just saw, those are exactly when the 2 lines happened. Those specifically 2 lines that I have recorded from November that were carried on. One of them is like an intro part that just so happened to fit with the script I was, you know, I had polished up. And I tried to, like, re-record it, actually. It was originally also going to be removed, but it ended up fitting quite well with what I had recorded, and I couldn't really get a better version while I was recording, so I just decided to keep it. Which, you know, it worked fine, so it was a good solution. The second one is a crash out. It's literally just me screaming. So, like, this one didn't need fixing.
The rest of it I had to fully redo, and slowly but surely over the course of 2 months, I did so. I also had a pretty limited amount of time in a week to work on the video, given that I also had to study, but I managed to get...
So this roughly ended up being, like, basically, the time I had for it was, like, maybe I would get some luck with having time after school in, like, the week, but that would be very short. So generally speaking, I relied on the night times between Fridays and, you know, the weekends. And that ended up being a decent strategy. I pulled it off. I got, like, the quotas I set for myself decently well.
I completed it, premiering the whole thing on February 14th. And it's a good thing.
Oh yeah, this is semi-important context. If you go to that video now, it won't say that it premiered on February 14th. I believe it will say it premiered on, like, February, I don't know if it's 26th or 23rd. That's because I re-uploaded it, so yeah. But this is the original premiere date. The current one was posted, and it's a re-upload.
I got it done then, because I cut it really close with the actual release of Fraud, which would have made it outdated. Funnily enough, I really overestimated my workload, as the video turned out to be only 26 minutes rather than 40, although the rewrite probably also had an impact on making it shorter. I would have liked to end the V2.
That's a big thing. 20 minutes. But first of all, this video wasn't even longer than my longest one, which was the Half-Life one. The whole time I was making it, I thought this thing was surely going to be longer, and it turned out to be shorter. Which shows you that you shouldn't really trust everything tools use. Because I'll be completely real, I used, like, a counter for how long it takes to speak something, and usually, you know, I thought it would be, like, pretty accurate, and even then, it got, like, 40, so it's like, what are the odds? If this thing is wrong, it will still be, like, 30 minutes, right? And this thing the original script still felt really long, and to be clear with you, it probably was. It was still probably going to be, like, 30 minutes. And you can see that, you know, maybe I shouldn't have relied on that tool as much, because clearly it wasn't. And to be clear, I've taken that to heart. I don't rely on it nearly as much, and I think that was a good thing to move, because it seems pretty consistently that I read a little bit faster than it predicts I will. So, yeah.
On other levels besides 1-4. Let me tell you...
This is a general thing. I like speedrunning ULTRAKILL. I like running 1-4. I apparently don't like doing it, like, constantly. 1-4 constantly is just, like... It gets miserable at a certain point because it's so slow to learn, and it just sucked for me. So when it took me like a while to learn a new kill for like a 9-second run or something, that was just kind of miserable. Like, there was no real progress. I was just sitting there for weeks, and then randomly, because that's how 1-4 is, I just got it. Like, at some point, it just happened. Like, I just got it. And I don't know how, like, I swear to God, with ULTRAKILL speedrunning, you sit down, you learn a tech for months, you can never get it right, and then one random fucking Sunday morning, you will just be able to do it. And no explanation. It's so fucking weird.
Speedrunning is much funner with options. Funnily enough, after taking a break from running 1-4, I realized that I do like doing it, just not all the time, seemingly. I get burnt out pretty quickly from running just one level. Either way, I do plan to do more speedruns of 1-.
To be clear, obviously, the fact that I did not have options was mostly forced on by myself. But that's, you know, because I hadn't uploaded in a while, and this was kind of, you know, my main thing, so I had to post 1-4 runs pretty constantly, and, you know, it started burning me out. There's no other way to put it. I started getting burnt out. It was just hard to keep up with.
And post more. I met a lot of people through my journey.
Okay, I don't think there's anything to add.
Things from not anyone at the end of whose video.
Yeah, this is all basically stated. Okay. So yeah, that's the wrap up. Thank you for coming to the second channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. My yapping. Hopefully you can fucking hear me. And hopefully you enjoyed the first one as well. So yeah, I will see you on a lock